Hi Flosstube, welcome to my channel. My name is Barbie and we're here to talk about cross stitch today, and we've got a lot to cover. I can't believe it's already October. I know I say this every time. I always mean to make a video and then just time slips away and then I have this huge pile and I'm like, I've got to do this. So I've got a whole tub of stuff to show you guys today. I've got some goodies on my desk here. It's not really in any particular order. I did not take notes. We're just going to kind of go through the tub and get through this because my tub is starting to overflow. So it's been a while. Let's get through all these good things. I hope you enjoy it and I hope it makes sense and I just don't ramble on forever. We'll see. All right, let's do it. So if you don't know, I do design cross stitch patterns under the name Pedal Pusher. That's why my channel name is Barbie Pedal Pusher. And sometimes inspiration strikes from weird places. Sometimes I get inspired for a new design just by colors. Sometimes it might be a poem or a lyric of a song. It can be from anything. I don't know about other designers, but for me, I was in the kitchen yesterday and I saw a picture on Instagram and like this whole giant idea came into my brain. Like I called my mom and within 5 minutes I had like this whole layout and we were talking through it and I was just bouncing ideas off of her while I would made dinner. So you never know. So my newest design just released at Needlework Galleria. I guess I'll talk about it first. So Needlework Galleria is a retail show in St. Charles, Missouri, and it is one of the last weekends in September. Anyone can attend. You have to purchase a ticket. You can come for one day. You can stay for the weekend. And there are classes that different designers teach, and then they take one whole floor of the hotel and basically everyone turns it into a little shop. So lucky for me, I only live about 30 minutes away from St. Charles, Missouri. So it's very easy and convenient for me to drive there, set up shop, and do Galleria. And it was so much fun this year. I really loved meeting so many new stitchers from all over the country. My mom was there helping me. She was amazed. There were people from California, Maine, Minnesota, Texas, Florida, and everywhere in between. So it was pretty cool. It was so great to get to see people. So I had a great time. So thank you for coming if you were there. I did release a brand new pattern at Galleria. I need to get it in my shop, so hopefully I can get that in my Etsy store in the next day or two. So keep checking, I'll get it there. But I did ship it out to distributors the other day, so anybody's online store or LNS can get this pattern for you, or like I said, you can get it in my Etsy store. This will give me the kick in the pants to get it done. So the inspiration for my new design actually came from a Christmas card. So my husband received this card last year and I just loved the coloring on it. I loved the dark with all those different greens. I love greens. I'm a nature girl. And so I cut the card in half and have held on to it for a while, knowing that one of these days I was going to use this as an inspiration or a jumping off point for a new design. And I can finally throw this card away now because I did. So my new design is called Heaven and Nature Sing. And here it is. So I made it into a little pillow. This is stitched on 32 count charcoal linen that I got off a 1-2-3 stitch, so I hope it's pretty readily available. You could do this in any fabric you wanted. I actually, when I charted it out, had it in like a light, kind of like coffee stain kind of color, and it looked really cool there too. So if you're not a black stitcher, I think that would still look great. If you're an Aida stitcher, especially I know sometimes with black, I prefer to do Aida a lot of times too. It's all just regular cross stitch except for there's one little 3/4 stitch. I know I'm pointing wrong. Oop, right there. That little squirrel ear has one tiny little stitch. So if you're doing Aida, I think you can punch it through the middle for just that one little stitch. It is stitched in a bunch of different beautiful colors from Gentle Arts, but I do provide DMC conversions for everything. And then for the trim, I use Lady Dot Create, what is it called? Seafoam, I believe. Let me double check. It's right up here. Sea Glass. So yeah, Lady Dot Sea Glass chenille on the edges. This actually was a very quick stitch. I usually stitch only in the evenings, and I was able to finish this within like a week and a half, and that was even a couple nights. I was just too tired and didn't stitch. So it does work up pretty quickly. Very fun, cute, festive. I like that it's Christmassy without being overly Christmassy, that you could still leave it out just for winter. That's what I plan on doing when the time comes. So, Heaven and Nature Sing. You can get it from your local shops. You can find it in my Etsy store very soon. And that's my new release. That's the business part of our conversation today. Guess I'll just put things back in my tub here. All right, we got a little haul mixed in. Let's see, I've got some Color and Cotton Thread Club for August of this year. Very pretty colors as usual. I can't wait to put these in with my stash. And I love this selection. This was perfect for like Halloween stitching. This was the September club. So if you're not in her club, just keep an eye out. She has openings every so often. It's a great way to build up your Color and Cotton stash. That's kind of what I'm doing, because not only do I like to design with her threads, but I like to use them for myself in my own personal stitching. So if you have watched my channel for a while, you know I love Prairie Schooler. I've stitched quite a few, but I also am a very good, let's say, collector of Prairie Schooler. And there are a few on my list that I've been meaning, like, okay, I seriously think it's like a, I don't know if it's an OCD thing or like an obsession. I don't know. My sister and I talk about this. We think there's this collector gene, like you can't just have one of something. You have to have the whole series, or you have, you know, like there's just this desire to collect them all. Do you guys have that? Am I the only crazy one that does this? Like, and it can be over silly things, and I can tell myself, really, you don't need every one of these McDonald's toys just because it's one of a collection. You're a grown woman. You don't need McDonald's toys. You don't even like them, but there's that need of like, well, I should have the whole collection, right? No. But Prairie Schooler, you kind of do need a whole series, especially if you have the alphabet series. So, as you know, I'm a Prairie Schooler snob. I prefer to only have the cardstocks. So I've been, you know, kind of watching eBay for a while. I've gotten a lot off of there here and there. Sometimes it's really good to find things. Sometimes it takes a really long time to find things. But I was patient. My patience has paid off. I think I needed just 2 more flyers to complete the whole alphabet, and I finally found them. And it's always tricky too, because you got to watch that you're not getting one of those sellers on eBay or Etsy that are actually making illegal cardstock copies and saying they're originals. These are, I've checked, they're legit. So I was able to get my hands on GHI, which I really love, the garden one. I like them all, but that one is speaking to me right now. And then I also needed V, W, and X. So now, unless I'm off and haven't checked my stash lately, I think I've got the whole alphabet. I can sleep well at night now because the collection is complete. Feels good. I also grabbed this one, even though I know it's out as a reprint now. I've always liked this one. For a while, I was like, you know what? Once it came out as a reprint, I saw a lot of people stitching it. I thought, I've seen it too many times. I don't feel the need to have that anymore. But now it's been a little while, and it came up, and it was a good price, and I thought, yeah, let's just go ahead and get it. And that is Santa's Night. So lately, I've been really drawn to the things on black. I don't know. I like things on the dark. I don't necessarily like stitching on the dark, but I mean, it just pops so well. I don't know. It's fun. When I posted my video in, gosh, was it August? I had showed you that Samplers Not Forgotten had been on sale on 123 Stitch, and one of them was still back ordered, and it did come in. And if I had been smarter, I would have stitched this up for fall, but it'll just have to wait for another year. But I also got Pomegranate Manor. which is lovely. Sorry about the glare. So I need to kind of look through and chart that up. I don't think that will take very long. It's 82 by 82. So, I mean, that's a quick stitch. It just looks gigantic, but it's really not. That would be a fun one to get done maybe for next fall. Here I said, I'll just put things back in the box, and I'm like chucking everything to the side. I'll put these over here. All right, what else do we have? Oh, I had enhanced my fabric stash, so I will share those with you. Hopefully the color is pretty accurate. I'll do my best. Sometimes I know when I am looking at, sorry, there's a big string. When people show fabric, it's like, all right, I can't really tell. But sometimes I do really enjoy it because it does give you a little bit of an idea of some really great colors to choose. So if this is boring to you, sorry, I'll go pretty quick. Don't mind me and my scissors. All right, so this is 32 count sand from Picture This Plus, and it is showing up pretty true to color. It's a really great neutral. I've used this in a couple of my designs. It's just good to have on hand. And I love getting these little pieces from 123 Stitch, because I don't have a local needlework shop. So these little pieces are nice because it gives me an idea of the coloring. So then if I do want to get a bigger chunk down the road for a bigger piece, I already kind of know what they look like, and they're great for small finishes too. So that is sand. This one is fall leaf, and it is not showing up very true to color. Let me put it next to this one so you can see. It's so much darker. It's almost got some golden tones to it, so I thought it would be good for some Halloween or fall stitching. I love this color. I don't know. I need to come up with something fun for it. It's 32 count Sweet Pea. And it is exactly what you would think it is. It's a real nice, let me brighten it up in here. Hold on. Does that help? It helps a little bit. Yeah, it's a real nice kind of yellowy green. It's showing up more bluey. Let's play with the light, shall we? Nope. Nope. A little better. So it's a nice color. And again, I pretty much order everything 32 count. That's just my comfort zone. I got some goodies in from Picture This Plus. And I can't remember if I've ever showed you these or not. I finally feel like I've earned a badge for cross stitching because I finally own a piece of 32 count Ren. Everyone seems to always have Ren. I've never had it before. I'm proud to say now I do. So thank you very much. Here's how it compares to sand. So a little darker, just to give you a point of reference. Similar, but definitely, especially if I'm looking at this side, I don't know. In person, it totally looks darker than the sand. I know that really helps you out. This one, remember I'm digging the dark colors. This one, this is Shadow. And it's a little more navy than what you're seeing. It's like a really, really, oh, that's not bad right there. It's like a really dark, dark, dark navy. Fun. And I've stitched on this before. A long time ago, I did the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery Once Upon a Time sampler, and it was doubloon, which is what this is, and it was sparkly. So I got myself a non-sparkly piece. It's a great, golden parchment color. Let's do a little fun comparison, shall we? Doubloon versus Ren. See, doubloon is much more yellowy versus sand. So sand is the lightest, Ren's a little darker, and doubloon is much more golden. Hopefully that helps you. And if it doesn't, I hope you just fast forwarded through it. All right, that's my fabric stash. My great aunt, not my great aunt, my aunt passed on to me a needlepoint that my great aunt made that I'm born on her birthday. I never met her, but she thought I would like it. So this cute little, I guess, is that what, a lemon or a lime? It's more greeny, but yellowy too. I don't know. What is it? This fruit was passed on to me. It's all nicely framed and everything. So I'm not a big red person. Maybe it can be a Christmas fruit picture. Right? We can make it work. It's reds and greens. Who doesn't like fruit at Christmas? So I got that. And along those lines, my great aunt, so the sister of that lady, my great aunt Ella passed away. Oh gosh, it's probably been 15 years or so. She didn't have any kids, so when she passed, her things went to her sister Izzy, who also didn't have any kids. So when she passed away, they went to their brother Robert, and he recently passed away. And so when his family was going through his things, my siblings and I had asked if maybe we could have some things that had belonged to my great aunts. Especially my great aunt Ella, we were very close with her, and she had done a lot of needlepoint, and they didn't have any interest in any of the needlepoint. So these are a few of the things that I got from her needlepoint, and I think she did have some of her different sisters' things mixed in. This was like a family of 8, I believe. My grandpa, I think it was 8 kids, 6 girls, 2 boys. And so my Aunt Ella was the oldest, and she was one of the longest that lived. So she kind of had some of things from bits and pieces of her siblings too. So I'm not exactly sure who stitched what, but this was one that I kept. I should have, oh, my boxes are here. Good, I have more over here to show you. So this is one that I kept, obviously not framed, but I liked the little scene. Kind of reminded me of like a vintage paint by number, which you know I'm all about. So I need to get this one framed up. So that's a nice keepsake to have. Sorry, I just kicked my desk. There's a couple that aren't my style. So if it's your style and you would like to give them a home, I will probably keep the frames, but if this is something that you would want to display in your house, please let me know. I'd rather it go to a home that's going to be displayed and loved than sit in my basement. So this one I am definitely keeping the frame because I love it. But there was this one here, which again, you know, I have 2 boys, but it's just really not my style. And I guess what a lot of ladies used to do is, this baffles me. I don't know much about needlepoint, especially needlepoint back in the day, but this kind of boggles my mind. My mom was telling me that they'd buy them and this part would already be stitched and all they did was fill in the background. I think I've talked about this before. Is this true? And I guess I just don't understand I guess it's just the enjoyment of something to do with your hands and you don't have to think, but I don't know. I think I'd get a little bored maybe. I don't know. Anyway, so keeping the frame because this thing's cool. It's heavy too. You can tell that really lovely finishing runs in the family. Don't look at the backs of a lot of my pieces because it's a lot of hot glue and some tape sometimes. It gets the job done. So these are the ones that if this is your style, let me know. It's kind of that Hummel. It's just not something, sorry, really glary. It's not something that I really have in my house. Doesn't really quite match my style. So I've got that little boy and this little girl that are basically the same size. And then I've got one more. And again, I can take these out of the frames and, I mean, they're cute. They're just not my style. So let me know. And the other one that I would much rather see someone display it in their home, because again, not my style, and it's red. You know me in red. Maybe you don't, but now you do. We don't get along. Is this bell pull? If you are familiar with my Etsy at all, I actually charted this rooster into cross stitch a couple years ago because when my grandma passed away and I got all of her crafty stuff, she has this exact same bell pull but unfinished. It's like finished to about here. And all that's left is filling in the red. So if you would really like this, let me know. I've got a finished one and an unfinished one with the yarn that I could pass along to you. So if chicken bell pulls are your thing, or you'd like to wear it like a sash would be okay, or like over your shoulder like a heavyweight wrestling belt, you know, you could do that. Let me know if you want these chickens, because they're just going to sit in a box here. I didn't want them to just go in the trash because that would be sinful, but they're not my style. How many times did I say they're not my style? But they aren't. Let's move on. At Galleria, everyone knows the joy of being at some sort of cross-stitching event with other stitchers is the freebie giveaway table. It's a thing of beauty when stitchers come and they bring things they don't want and it's just splayed out all over a countertop or table and you have to dig for treasure. I found a few. Will I stitch them? I don't know. Did I take them? Yes, I did. So the first one I took is this Cross Stitch and Country Crafts from April of 1993. Because of the picture on the cover, I am not stitching this ever, but my mom has this that someone stitched for her, and I just for some reason felt like I needed the chart of that design, just because. I haven't even looked through this magazine. Maybe it's loaded with other goodies. Like, I mean, who wouldn't want these bunnies under a plaid ribbon on a very ruffly pink pillow? So, yeah, I took it for the cover image. Oh, it's got a cute little Quaker in there. Anywho, I got that. I also grabbed from Cricut Collection. It is called the Keeping Box. And again, this isn't usually my taste, but something about these people, especially I think it's, I don't know, I kind of like, both of those are fun. I like this one. I don't know, just something kind of sweet about it that I thought maybe if you changed up some colors, did a few tweaks here and there, it could be fun. Why not? Oh, someone must be cutting. Sorry, there's a really, you can't hear it, I'm sure. There's a really weird noise going on outside, and I just figured out I think it's a chainsaw or something. This one is the most likely to be stitched. It's from Bent Creek, and it is Holiday Home Stocking. And I just thought that was really cute. I don't know that I'd do it as a stocking. Maybe just like chop it up, square it up, take off the name, and just do that little cabin with stars and some snow stuff underneath. Maybe change the colors. I don't know. It's very cozy. Very cozy winter. So that was the freebie table. We're moving right along. Okay, my last regular video. It's been a while. Way back there. My last regular video, I had a giveaway. I was giving away Christmas Town by, I believe it's Stitchovia. Yeah. So I have stitched almost half of this, and I'm over it. Not that I don't love the design, but this even weave isn't quite even weave. And I don't know, I just, as you can see, I was cutting it a little close on my edging, so I sewed this, and I decided to move on with my life and allow this to be adopted. So a couple of you guys commented. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for being patient. The winner is Just Because Julie, and I already commented on your comment, so if you could please email me your full name and address and everything, I will get this shipped out to you, and hopefully you can give it some love and enjoy it more than it's been enjoying life in my ottoman. So that's that. All right. Oh, did I bring those down? I did. So I did have a new start and a finish. Hey, let me show you. Let me reach. Okay, I'm sorry if this video feels all over the place, but this is how it's going to get done. So for my children, I have 3 kids, and several years ago, before my third was born, I started stitching the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery Pen Pal series for my oldest 2, and I was doing a gob of customization and personalization. So most of these do not look for this pattern because you won't find this exact pattern. I own a lot of Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery designs. I used to stitch them a lot. So I will take little figurines. This is the nice thing about their designs. I will take people from other patterns of theirs and insert them, or just tweak their clothes a little bit or change colors a little bit and make new little pen pals for my kids. So the design is still all theirs. I'm not ever giving away these designs because they're their designs, but I just customize them for me. Does that make sense? Hopefully it does. So I finally got around to starting because my poor youngest, he's 4 now, and he has 0, my kids call them their stitchies. So he has 0 stitchies for himself. So now he does. He's got a Halloween one. So I made him a little Frankenstein. These are so cute and fun. I stitched them all on Ada because it makes my life easier. And like I said, I take bits and pieces. So this Frankenstein, you can find him in, I think it's their Mysterious Halloween Town, or there was a little pillow that was like Trick or Treat Couple or something, where it's him and the Bride of Frankenstein and Candy around. I don't know. He's in a couple things. Most of this stuff is from Mysterious Halloween Town that I just kind of took. I think the moon was from the actual Halloween pen pal. At this point, I don't even remember what the real pen pal pattern was. I think it was a Dracula. So my son loves candy corns, so I made some little candy corns. He loves going to the pumpkin patch, so we had to put a pumpkin in there. I love how it turned out. It's very cute. I have finally thought of, I think, a way that I want to fully finish these, but I'm going to have to consult someone who's a much better finisher than I am. So I will keep you posted. I'll go ahead and show you the ones for my other kids. So this is my daughter's. She wanted a little cupcake witch years and years ago. I don't know that she'd pick out all the pinks and purples that she did when she was that age, but that's part of the fun, and she loved kitties at that time, and she still loves kitties. And then my oldest, I think this is the closest to the actual design, but I believe I made this little tombstone there, I think. Don't quote me. So yeah, so cute little spooky trio. Very fun. Woo! I knew it was coming. Sorry. Couldn't hold it in any longer. So yeah, I need to get those fully finished. I have been feeling very, I don't know if stressed is the word this year, but I felt this like weight on my shoulders of needing to get finished projects that I had already started. I needed to work on my whips. I needed to pare some of those down. They've been sitting, like I said, I have an ottoman in our living room that I keep all my projects in that I'm currently working on, and some of them have been in there for years. Looking at you, Christmas Town. So there's a couple that I've decided to either let go of. There's a couple that I went ahead and finished. Well, maybe like one. There's a lot more that I need to figure out what I'm going to do with and keep kind of just whittling that down. I felt like for some reason, like I wasn't allowed any new starts because I really needed to do those. On top of that, being a designer, it sometimes gets tricky because yes, I do have a couple model stitchers that help me out and they are fantastic, but I am notoriously bad about not ever really being ahead. And so like this design, I will fully admit to you guys, Needlework Expo was the end of August. Like 2 days after it was over, I designed this. I immediately stitched it and had to quickly finish it and have it ready for Galleria in less than a month. I'm not great at working ahead. I'm trying to be better. And since I am kind of being better and getting ahead, I finally kind of feel like I have the permission or the freedom to actually like put some brain power into what are some things that I want to stitch just for my own pleasure, not as models, just that I want in my house or that look fun to stitch or whatever. And so I went through my stash the other day. I was actually looking for something. Misty and Helen and I are going to do a little Christmas exchange. So I was looking for a piece for that. And as I was digging through, I found a couple things like, I'd like to get this done. I'd like to stitch this. It looks enjoyable. It's calling to me. So I went online and I ordered the fabric for a bunch of them. I went full on like, I'm going called for fabric. I'm just going to get it and kit it up and have it ready. So let me show you what maybe will be soon to be whips. So first I got a big old hunk of chunk of 32 count Mocha Belfast linen. I mean, this is a half yard. It's a biggie. Because I need the long and skinny, because I want to stitch the Lizzie Kate Christmas rules, the whole big shebang. I've owned these for a couple years. I've always thought it was cute. I think it'd be fun for Christmas time. And really, since I bought these, I mean, in the last few years, let's face it, I've stitched a lot. I've become a better stitcher. I've become a faster stitcher. So whereas this would maybe seem super intimidating, now I'm looking at it like, well, it's a lot of words. And if I just keep plugging away at it, or even give myself a goal of like, okay, a week per section, so like 1 week there, 1 week there, 1 week there, you know, and so on. If I start this soon, how many weeks we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, basically. I don't know how many weeks away we are from Christmas, but it would be at least stitching it during Christmas time and getting it done around Christmas, or maybe even if I work ahead. I just don't know how long they're going to take me. So why not give it a try? I think that's my next start. I think I'm going to try that. Motivate me, people. Tell me like, hey, have you started that yet? Are you working on it? Are you doing it? Because I think it's doable. At least I tell myself that. So I need to start like getting all the threads together. I think the only one, because it's all weeks. Let me see. Yeah, it's one Classic Colorworks, which I hadn't had. I don't have any Classic Colorworks really. So I have that, but I have all the weeks dye works. So I can just pull from that and stitch away or use the DMC or whatever and giddy up. So I need to kit that in the next couple days. Maybe this weekend, long weekend. That can be a fun little project I can do and get started on. Don't let me slack. Hold me accountable. This is another one that I just think is fun and pretty, and it's one of those like, when I bought it thinking of my daughter. She's already 8, so I don't know how much longer she will even like stuff like this, so I better get my rear in gear. Gara, I never know how to say it. Sorry, it's really glary. There we go. It's called Posing, and I just love all the like blue on blue of it, and of course the flowers, because I love flowers. And it is a lot of colors, but it's all DMC. So it'll just be, you know, nibbling away at it. It's 112 by 126, and the color that it's called for is 32 count Sea Lily, which looks really green in person. So I'm mildly concerned. I need to start pulling some of the flosses and see how they look. I'm wondering if it was like I don't know. I mean, when I typed in Sea Lily, this is the only thing I got. It's a Witchelt, which isn't my favorite because it's really, really stiff. We'll see. I mean, to me, those don't look the same. This looks very bright blue to me, and this looks very greeny to me. I mean, it's a pretty color. It's just not what I was anticipating. So I think that's going to be one. Pull the colors, see how it looks, and go from there. But starting hopefully sooner rather than later. And last one is a chart I got at 2020 Market. It's Bent Creek Classics, and it's called the Flowers in the Springtime. It's kind of a wedding sampler, but again, once you start and look, you're like, okay, it's words, it's these little flower motifs, which are tiny. It should be pretty doable, right? Here's my only beef. It's 208 by 46, in case you're wondering. It does come with lettering, so you can customize the date and the names at the bottom. I looked over this pattern again and again and again, and I don't see anywhere where they tell you what the fabric is. And that kind of was like, I was in this mood to just be like, what fabric? Type it in, order it. What fabric? Type it in, order it. And then this one I was like, what? But I don't, you didn't tell me the fabric. So if you know, please tell me. I just guessed. And if not, then I've got this nice piece of fabric to use. I ended up going with 32 count dirty linen fabric by Zweigart. So there you go, kind of see it better. Oop, nope. So it's just a dark brown color. Maybe it's the right color. Again, I'll pull some threads, see how it looks. I know there's a lot of white flowers, so I wanted something a little bit darker to make sure that all those little light colored flowers popped. I'll do my best. So those are kind of my future plans. Do some stitching for myself. I'm actually working on market designs. Pat myself on the back for that because it's October. I don't normally start that early, so yay me. There might, I don't know, I'm kind of thinking no, but there might be one more little Christmas design. We'll see. Again, see, that's normal Barbie. Oh, Christmas design? Well, I haven't designed one, but maybe I will. That's why I was glad I got this one out already. I did, in my fabric purchasing, buy one chart. It just feels like you should, right? I mean, could I have ordered just fabric? Yes, because it was 3 pieces. They're fairly large. It's not like I was not getting my shipping's worth, but I think I mentioned a video or 2 ago, my unicorn chart right now is Our House by Good Housewife, and how much I've been kicking myself that, like, when she opened her Etsy store and re-released things, it was there and I didn't buy it because I was like, you don't really need it. You've got enough charts. And now our Etsy store is like on permanent vacation forever apparently, and I can't find it anywhere, and it's so pretty. I'm like, why didn't you buy it? So I bought this because I don't want that to happen again, because I've loved this pattern for years. I would love to stitch it. I don't know when, but it's at least in my stash. And that is Jenny Bean's Friendship Sampler by Shakespeare's Peddler. I just love all the little houses. I've seen the model in person. There you go. It's gorgeous. I love it. So you know what? I'm going to have it. And that way, if it ever goes out of print, I'm not kicking myself that I didn't have it, because I do. So I've got Jenny Bean's Friendship Sampler, and I've got the Christmas one and the Halloween one, and I haven't stitched any of them, but I love them all anyway. All right, I think that's everything. I think I'm going to go ahead and do a separate video showing you all of my Halloween and fall stitched goodies that I have out in my house. I didn't really realize it, but apparently Halloween and fall, I've got a lot of. I don't have a lot of like any other season, and I know I gravitate towards fall houses, but there aren't any even fall houses stitched in there. I can't explain it. I don't know. I guess they're just fun and I like them, and so I've stitched them. So I need to up my game on some Christmas and some other seasonal things, which is another reason to start that Lizzie Kate Christmas rules. So look for another video soon of all of my fall Halloween stitched things, just showing you what I got, because you know what, sometimes that's fun to just see a whole bunch of finishes. I know Stephanie Lindy Stitches did that the other day. It was like a month and a half ago, and it was fun. I loved seeing what she had, so I thought I'll do it too. So thanks, Steph, for the idea. I hope you guys are having a great October. I hope the leaves are starting to be pretty where you are. We're going to be back up to almost 90 this weekend here, so fall really fully hasn't kicked in yet, but we're getting glimmers of it. Anyway, I hope you have an enjoyable fall, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.